Welcome back to Things I Wish I Knew About Alopecia, video 2. Today we're going to be talking about 5 things I hate about having alopecia. This one was a lot easier to think of ideas for. The first one was a bit more difficult. So today I've got 5 things. I've got like a little notepad here. I've actually written 5 things down, unlike last time. Let's get straight into it. Number 1, people's reactions. It's not a great thing. Sometimes you get pleasant reactions to it. Sometimes you get gawkers, head scratches. Maybe a bit of context might be a bit better for that one, but we can go into that a bit later on. People's reactions are sometimes really one of the things I hate about it. I know this is a very broad thing to talk about because people can react in a certain way by pointing, making comments, saying things. I think we might as well go into story time. First time I went out without a hat on when I lost my hair when I turned 18, because I developed Universalis just before I turned 18. First time I went out without a hat on, I got called E.T. If you've seen E.T., it's a great film. That comment was a bit hurtful. I did go, ouch. I wish I'd have done that at the time. That'd have been pretty hilarious. So yeah, that kind of sucked. I'm sure you guys have got your horror stories over years of people reacting certain ways towards you having your alopecia, and I know it can be a real kind of like, it can be a really big knock, especially if it's like first time, you know, being without like a hat or a scarf or a wig or whatever else, and people can be horrible, you know. People can be super nasty. I mean, yeah, the only thing you can do that is you got to take it on the chin, or just be smart back to him. Give him something to remember you by. That's not great advice. Don't take that. But yeah, that's one thing I kind of hate about having alopecia. It doesn't always happen, and I feel like I'm a lot more confident than I used to be about it. But yeah, that sucks. So the second thing I hate about having alopecia is the lack of eyebrows. Now I've got alopecia universalis. I know this can happen to people with areata. Got no eyebrows. It's not great. Like, I never realized how important eyebrows were until I lost them, right? Eyebrows are great for, do you know that they're good for deflecting sunlight? Now that sounds really weird, but they actually are. Like, since losing them, like seeing like in daylight, if it's bright and stuff, like if you do that and you like, and it's a sunny day, you can tell that's essentially what your eyebrows do. They kind of like protect your eyes and stuff. So yeah, that sucks. I do a lot of like fitness stuff. I do a lot of kickboxing and running and stuff, and sweat goes in your eye. I mean, it's bad enough you're getting punched, and I know this is not like, you know, oh, I totally get that, because everyone does that, but when you get sweat in your eye, it is literally the worst, and you can't see. And another story time, I went to Disney with some friends in LA a couple of years ago, and it was like a record, like hottest day of the year, like super crazy hot. And I'm paranoid about getting sunburnt because I got sunburnt many years ago when I did a half marathon and burnt off the top of my head. Bad call. Anyway, so I always put loads of sun cream on, and as basically because it was so hot, it kept on like dripping down into my eyes, and I was like literally walking around like Disneyland, like, oh my god, is that Mickey Mouse? I can't even see. Do you know what I mean? It was so bad. So yeah, if I had eyebrows, I'm sure they'd have like sucked them up and I'd have been able to see. So yeah, eyebrows are important, people. I wish I had them. That would be good. Everything else I'm all about eyebrows, I mean, you can kind of see the facial expressions, right? You guys will feel me on this. Like, you can still express yourself, but okay, so this is a big one for me. This is something that I really hate at the moment. Not so much like over the last couple of years. I've had AU for like going on 13 years, and it's something that's really hit me at the moment, is the fact that I just look the same. I look the same pretty much as I did when I was 17 years old. I'm like 31 this year. I'm getting on. I'm just not appreciating it. But yeah, I look the same. I look through pictures, and it's just like, I just need to change something. Like I mentioned in this last video, like I need to do something, and it's I'm gonna say this. I might get a bit of a reaction from some people, but being a man and having alopecia, I mean, you're limited. You are limited in what you can do. I can't do it pretty much anything to change my facial appearance, really. Like, I know there's some things I could do, but I can't, like, maybe I could draw eyebrows on or something. I don't know, but I just feel kind of limited as a man. Like, I wear hats, like baseball caps and beanies and stuff, and I've got, like, I read somewhere that wearing glasses helps define your face, especially if you've got a bald head. So I bought some, like, fake glasses, and I just feel like a bit of an idiot. Because people ask what's a prescription for. I was like, no, it's just fake. It's just actually, I'll put them on for some context. Like, I look like, Lex Luthor putting on Superman's glasses. Do you know what I mean? It's not a great look. I need help. Maybe if there's any of you guys out there who are fashionable and just give me some help, because I'm tired of looking this way. I need to change it up a little bit. I'm getting old. I need to look a little bit different. Okay, this next one. Oh my god, this is just for worse for me. This is just for worse. Okay. Number 4, the thing I hate about having alopecia is lack of eyelashes. Why? Why is it? So I can flutter my eyelashes when, for any particular reason I need to? No, it is not that. You guys, if you don't have alopecia or you have eyelashes, you wake up in the morning and you have sleep. I don't even know the technical term for it. It's that yellow, crusty, whatever stuff you get on your eyelashes. Okay, I get it on my eyeball because there's nowhere for it to go. So every morning I've got to, like, go in there and clean out my eye of all that eye gunk or whatever it is. I know it sounds disgusting and grim, and it really is. There's nothing worse than waking up in the morning. Like, for people who don't know about this, the sleep goes on your eye. You've got to open your eye and you've got to get all the gunk out there, because otherwise you might get something like conjunctivitis, and you've got to do that every day, and it's just not great, I know there's a lot more worse things out in the world, and I fully appreciate that. But a gunky eye every morning that you got to clean, it's just, it's just not something great, Eyelashes, just come back, even if it's for a little bit. I know having AU, that's not going to happen, but just give me a change. 2020, just make it happen, This very nicely brings me on to my last and final point. The thing I hate about having alopecia is the not knowing factor. When I got diagnosed and I did all of my treatment, I did some, I think it was DCP treatment, where it's basically I had steroids put in my head, blah, blah, blah. We'll get into that in another video. Let us know. Comment down below. Give me some video suggestions, ideas, even if it's just you putting hi. I know it's not a suggestion, but it lets me know that, I don't know. I'm begging for a comment. I'm begging for a comment. Yeah. The worst thing about having alopecia is the not knowing factor. Like, I really feel for people with areata, because they're constantly getting regrowth, and then it's going and it's coming back and it's going on. I know there's different types of alopecia out there with that kind of, like, similar pattern and stuff, but I've known people throughout the years who have had, like, little patches and essentially no hair, just little patches, and then you see them 6 months later and they got full head of hair, and like, yeah, it's great, it's come back, it's fantastic, and you can see the joy in them and the happiness. And some people with this disease, it's all they want. It is literally all they want and hope for, is just to have the hair back and just to feel like they used to, or whatever else. And yeah, that is the worst thing about it. And for me, having AU, and I've heard of odd random cases of people with AU getting their hair back and stuff, but it's just the not knowing factor, like, the thing is, for alopecia, it's something in your body that just goes like that, and boom, and your white blood cells like, nah, let's just chop off all these hair follicles. We ain't gonna, like, give you a reason why. It just happens. And I think that is, like, the most messed up thing, is just kind of not knowing what's gonna happen. Like, year from now, could I have a full head of hair? I mean, I've been waiting 13 years. It'd be a change. I don't know why it would happen, but it's just the not knowing factor, and it just honestly sucks. It's literally, for me, and I imagine for others, it's the worst part about it altogether. It's the unknown. Although I will say that I'm also, I know this is kind of like going against my point that I've been trying to make essentially, but I'm kind of glad and grateful that I've got AU, because man, I'd hate it. I'd hate it to have the hope, and not the hope, that sounds really bad. I'd hate it to have my hair to come back and to me be like, this is great, and then for it to all come out again. Like, I've done that, I've been there, I've got the t-shirt somewhere. It's, you know, it's just, I've had that. I've been through that experience. I've been through waking up middle of the night, hair on a pillow, going for a shower or a bath, and the hair just being everywhere in a bath, and there's no controlling it. Your eyebrows are going out and your eyelashes are going out, and people are constantly asking questions. You got to make up lies or tell them the truth and decide who are you going to tell, who you're going to keep it away from. Do you tell family, friends, whatever else like that? Social interactions with people outside. What do? Do you be honest? Do you make up something? How do you approach it? And I'd hate to have that multiple times, because it messes you up. It really messes you up. So yeah, I feel like I've just completely slashed that last point in half by saying it's awful, but it's also good, which is kind of like my first point on my first video, saying how it was being built up, being taken down to nothing was a bad thing and a good thing. I don't know why you should continue to watch the rest of my videos. I'm just talking absolute nonsense. I'm trying, okay? This is the thing. I've got my little notepad here with like the topics I want to talk about, and it just comes from my heart, you know? Like, it's the best way for me to talk about this kind of stuff. So this hasn't been as much as a ramble as the last one. Maybe it has. I'll see how it comes out in the edit. Thank you very much for watching this. If you have, I appreciate it. If you haven't got alopecia, it's not really, might not be that interesting for you. Or if you do and you think this guy's just some bald dude, I ain't got a clue what he's talking about. I don't know. Just let us know what you think down below. I'd really appreciate some kind of comments as for subject matter you'd like me to talk about. Like, I can keep just freestyling it and coming up with different ones to talk about. Like, you know, I did one a couple of years ago about dating. People really liked that. I think, again, from a male's perspective, it's maybe something a little bit different. I don't know. But yeah, subjects, let me know down below. Join the Facebook page, comment on there. We're getting people on there, which is really cool to see. Share your story. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.